Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to react to Swishout. The Nets may have trapped themselves with Kyrie Irving. So, obviously talking about, the Kyrie rumor or whatever about, Kyrie and Nets is at odds about his contract negotiations. So, let's see what Swishout got to say about that. Let's get into fucking reaction.
Couple of weeks have been like for you and the time you needed off?
It's a lot of family and personal stuff going on.
They on Zoom.
Just want to leave it at that.
Hey, Kyrie, I'm wondering if you were aware that you had violated the health and safety protocols and what that process was like for you in coming back and going through that investigation, one, and then secondly, what your communication was like with the team while you were away.
Happy to be back. Happy to be around these guys, address the team, address everybody that need to be addressed. Now it's time to move on.
All right, man.
Swishout, talk about
the
it.
last 2 months have been pretty rough for Kevin Durant basketball-wise.
It have.
Yes, he can put on an act as if nothing around the NBA affects him and he's completely content with his career. But these dudes are human, so I don't believe...
I hate that when KD does that shit. It's like, nigga, just be honest, bro. Just be honest.
Of that. Monday was the celebration / parade of the Warriors' 4th championship in the last 8 seasons.
Yeah.
You had
KD's on a clock,
losing
bro.
his hat on a boat, running over women.
Bro.
Aisha Curry lifting with what looked to be a...
Bro, this nigga Klay Thompson was fucking, like, lit. This nigga was tripping, falling everywhere. Bro, he dropped his fucking, one of his NBA championship rings in the fucking crowd. Like, bro, this man was fucking turned. This nigga was going crazy.
Thompson losing his hat on a boat, running over women, Aisha Curry lifting with what looked to be a Stephen Curry dress on, Draymond being all braggadocious. I mean, it was a great drunken time. And then you flip it all the way over to the east side of the NBA.
Bad look.
News broke that the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving are at an impasse with contract negotiations. Something I feel like anybody could kind of foresee. Now, I'm assuming this stems from Kyrie wanting longer guarantees, meaning a longer contract.
Yeah.
And
But he don't play,
nigga.
nigga.
The previous 3 years with Kyrie, they want something that gives them more leverage because the previous 3 years, they had absolutely none, and Kyrie abused that. Now, quickly, let's recap on why the Nets would and should be hesitant to extend Kyrie to that extent in the first place. Let's start with the obvious. Kyrie just isn't professional enough to trust with that type of money long term. I respect the hell out of Kyrie on a different dimension, meaning his ideologies, the stuff he does for the community, his outlook on the world. I always appreciate deep thinkers, as I'm one myself. But professionally, with a business like the NBA, Kyrie's ways of doing things don't correlate with the business he's in. Remember the season before last, where Kyrie Irving just randomly took a 7-game pause, came back and said, there's things bigger than basketball. Well, first of all, that's the obvious. I feel like we all understand that. But in no job, business, corporation could you ever just leave for 7 days without the people paying you being on the same page as to why you left for 7 days.
Facts, bro. Because niggas who got regular jobs, bro, like even if you got some, family shit or whatever, you can't just randomly be like, hey, man, I'm taking 7 days fucking off. It's like, nigga, what? Nigga, what? Bro, stop.
That's what I mean by Kyrie flexing his leverage and the Nets having absolutely none. They couldn't do nothing about that. I still believe the Nets going out and getting James Harden was directly correlated to Kyrie Irving. Sure, they had talks prior to Kyrie Irving having that absence and all that about getting James Harden, but Kyrie's absence and his sporadic behavior, that put him over the top where they felt like they absolutely had to. They needed that insurance. People question Kyrie's love for basketball, and I think that's 1,000% legitimate. One thing you have to remember about that specific situation, he missed those 7 games and went AWOL pretty much for those 7 games. Prior to that, the season opened and he played 6 games. Prior to that, remember, he only played 20 games in the 2019-2020 season. So that means the last time he played basketball was February 1st, 2020. You would think someone that's missed that much time of basketball wouldn't be so willing to miss more time of basketball if they don't have to. And again, yes, we understand there's things bigger than basketball, but everybody in this world can say that in their individual life. You can say there's things bigger than school. Somebody can say there's things bigger than their job, whatever. But we all understand that in the inevitable occurrences of tragedies and family stuff happening, we still have to produce and we still have to be professional to some extent. Kyrie, like I said, he flexes and abuses that leverage because one, fines don't mean a thing to him. He's fucking rich. That doesn't mean anything to him. And two, the Nets, again, if you're already paying him that guaranteed contract, he can pretty much do what he wants after that. this season, which again, I've never killed him for the vaccination thing or nothing like that, or his beliefs. I believe they're valid, and his cautions to me are valid. I respect
Agreed.
those. But again, it just doesn't mix well with the business of the NBA. His choice to not get it looked even worse when we seen a player pretty much in an identical situation, Andrew Wiggins, sacrificed for his team and get rewarded with a championship. And he was the undisputed second best player on that championship team. Meanwhile, Kyrie's stuff was just a complete mess. Even if the mandate never made sense, which I always thought it didn't, Brooklyn still had to pay a player damn near 400 bands to not even play, not even suit up. And yes, it was Brooklyn's decision.
Crazy, bro. This nigga Kyrie was a fucking part-time player, bro. That shit is crazy.
Damn near 400 bands to not even play, not even suit up. And yes, it was Brooklyn's decision to pay him and not play him for road games. But you understand why. They didn't want split teams. Also with Kyrie, we all know he has a deep injury history. Everywhere he's been, in college, Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn, he's been injured to some extent. And they've all come at the expense of a playoff run, all of them. So with the professionalism problem that you already have with Kyrie, mixed with a deep injury history, and let's not forget the embarrassing history of the Brooklyn Nets. We just seen a team this finals bank off the stupidity of the Brooklyn Nets damn near 10 years ago. So, of course, they don't want to look foolish again. You can most definitely understand their concerns, but they committed to this thing 3 years ago, and they're stuck. Here's why I don't think they can do anything with Kyrie and actually benefit for it.
They really can't do shit because, like, bro, honestly, bro, KD gotta, like, do something. Like, bro, if because KD went to the Nets because of Kyrie, right? And if the Nets, like, trade Kyrie or let Kyrie walk or whatever, right? Like, bro, KD's not going to fuck with that unless he agreed to the shit. So it's like, bro, what, like, nigga, KD don't be saying shit, my nigga. It's like, bro, what the fuck do you want, bro? You say you just want to play basketball. You obviously want to win and shit. But it's like, nigga, say something, nigga. Like, or do you want the niggas on the team? Like, nigga, talk to the nigga, make him play something.
First of all, their roster is not good enough to contend without Kyrie or a replacement star for Kyrie, which they're not getting. The biggest reason they lost so profoundly this year to me was because of how thin their roster was on every level. Losing James Harden for pretty much nothing this year was brutal, and it exposed their lack of depth and versatile size. And Ben Simmons, to me, isn't enough to fill that without Kyrie. Next year, they're going to owe a spot-up shooter, Joe Harris, $18 million, which isn't...
Bro, they need to trade fucking Joe Harris. Bro, trade that nigga, bro. Because that nigga do not show up in the fucking playoffs, bro. Trade him.
Next year, they're going to owe a spot-up shooter, Joe Harris, $18 million, which isn't bad at all. He has some size, and he's a 44% career three-point shooter, so that's not bad at all. But after that, you probably have the second biggest headache in the league, Ben Simmons, who still has his own demons to face, and I don't think offensively he can help you enough if you lose Kyrie Irving. After Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and Joe Harris, your roster is just too damn thin to replace him with anything other than an equal value star. You can't replace him with the Clipper scenario. Luke Kennard, Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, and stuff. You can't replace him with that. That's not enough. You're going to be wasting Kevin Durant's prime. So for Brooklyn, if you want to not run the risk of making Kevin Durant unhappy, you have to, A, keep Kyrie Irving. That's the best case scenario to me. That's the only case scenario. Or B, get adequate compensation for him, meaning close to star pieces or a star piece for him, which I don't even think is possible because Kyrie's value is too low. Even as talented as he is, the price he's going to ask any team for, nobody's going to pay him for that because they know what he comes with. He's already shown it on every level. So, like I said, Brooklyn, they are stuck. The Lakers, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving trade scenario is just hilarious to me. I would love for it to happen, but it's not even possible. That would be the Nets going from low value, expensive, but good Kyrie Irving to lower value, even more expensive and not so good for championship contention Russell Westbrook. Why the hell would somebody ever do that? 3 years ago, Kevin Durant arguably made the worst.
Y'all can take that nigga Russ. We'll take Kyrie.
I ain't even talking about just leaving Golden State. Some people could say that's a bad decision. I personally don't think so. He was trying to create his own legacy. I respect that, if anything. I'm talking about trusting and pairing up with Kyrie Irving. Now you're stuck with Kyrie and Ben Simmons, the two biggest headaches in the league. Like, damn, bro, that's tough. If you guys like this video, make sure you like this video. Make sure you turn on post notifications and subscribe.
Hey, man. This is what Kyrie get for not being more fucking vocal about what team he want. My nigga, you team with this nigga Kyrie and shit. and then you fucking, bro, you had a good roster, bro, before you traded for James Harden. Why didn't these niggas just keep the same roster they had, bro, before trading for bum-ass James Harden? They would have probably won a chip.
Are new. Follow my social media sites.
Hold on, anything else?
Guys, and until next time, as always.
Nah, but another great ass video for fucking Swishout, bro. Man, I don't know what the fuck the Nets gonna do with fucking Kyrie. It's like, bro, like, nigga, you gonna have to pay the niggas. Like, bro, you gonna have to pay him. It's like, what else you gonna do? Like, bro, no other team like will trade a star for you for fucking Kyrie. So I don't know what the fuck Nets gonna do. But hey, man, they are back into a corner for real. But like, comment, subscribe to just anything else you want me to react to. Down below in the comments. But check out the next one.